important weapon for fighting aggressive cancers now has a new promise for many patients: immunotherapy. It's a treatment that triggers the body's own defense system to fight cancerous cells mutations. Now, the FDA has just expanded the approved uses for immunotherapy, a drug that has successfully treated certain lung cancers and melanoma. Former President Jimmy Carter took the drug a few months later. He reported that he was cancer-free. Our Dr. David Agus is head of the USC Westside Cancer Center in Los Angeles. David, good morning. I remember people being very excited and very encouraged by Jimmy Carter's progress. Tell us exactly how it works. First, tell me how to pronounce it. Immunotherapy?
Immunotherapy, and this drug, get a load of this. The drug we're talking about with the new FDA approval is called pembrolizumab. So obviously it rolls off the tongue, or Keytruda. Every cancer cell is born with a "don't eat me" signal on its surface, and the immune system can't recognize it. And what these drugs do is they block that "don't eat me" signal to allow the immune system to be activated and attack the cancer. And it's a whole new weapon in our arsenal that's really had tremendous advances.
David, it sounds like immunotherapy challenges the idea that cancer should be treated by body part and instead says cancer should be treated by the type of cancer. Is that right?
Yeah, it's so amazing. Is that last week, for the first time ever, the FDA approved a drug not by body part, breast, lung, colon, but by what was the molecular defect. In this case, they had a particular gene that allowed DNA to repair itself that was turned off or faulty. And there were a lot of DNA errors, and then the immune system recognized them and attacked it. So this really was a new advance. You know, in the 1800s in Germany, we started to categorize cancer by body part. And finally, we're changing.
David, there was a front-page story in the Washington Post over the weekend about a 23-year-old woman who had colon cancer, a very bad case of colon cancer. Somehow, luckily, she got in touch with a program that was underway at Johns Hopkins and talked to the geneticist. He said, "Get over here right away." And it was exactly that result. They found out it had to do with a particular tumor, not the location in the body. I mean, are we going to see this kind of thing, as I just told you, and what you just talked about, Jimmy Carter, spreading across all cancers?
Yeah, it's about 4 to 5% of all cancers. And this particular woman actually inherited a DNA defect from her mother where it had the DNA repair genes turned off. And so she was very lucky in that Bert Vogelstein and his group at Hopkins had done remarkable work to identify this as a possible treatment with immunotherapy.
So how do you know if it's a good option for a cancer patient? What should we be asking?
Well, every cancer patient should go to their doctor and say, what are the options? And ask, is immunotherapy an option? And more it's becoming an option for lung cancers, for obviously colon cancer in this case, for endometrial cancers, for melanoma, for kidney cancers. We're learning how to use it better. And literally every few months, we're learning a new indication.
David, you say it's not a cure, though. Why is that?
Well, it turns off the immune system turns off the cancer. And over time, though, in almost all cases, the cancer comes back. And so it buys 1 to 2 to 3 years. It does have side effects, but it certainly buys time in patients who many times have no other hope.
Dr. David Agus, thanks as always.